Alright guys, got a product review today. So today I'm going to be looking at this Resin Crete pigment kit from JDiction. So essentially it's just an eco resin pigment kit. Got it for $12 or $13 I believe on Amazon. So what I'm going to be doing is I got 10 cups here, one for each pigment, and I'm just going to put one, maybe 2 drops in each thing because I don't have a whole lot of Resin Crete in each one. And I'm just going to leave them, actually I'm going to probably pour them in this hexagon thing, and I'm going to let them cure, and we're going to see how true these colors turn out, how evenly they turn out, you know. We're going to see how these pigments perform. So I'm going to start with 1 drop here on this blue and see where that gets me. That's actually quite nice. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to put too much in here. Too much pigment in here because then they'll all cure up too quickly if you have too much. So I'm just going to pour this in one of these hexagons here and move on to my next color, hot pink. Not too worried about this one. Don't think I'll ever use this one, but you know, 1 drop. I'm just going to do 1 drop on all these. We'll see how each color performs with 1 drop, because they're all about the same amount of Resin Crete in there. That's a nice pink there. Pour that in. And I did put a couple extra grams of water throughout this whole thing, because this is going to take me a little bit of time to hurry up and get all these in. So here we have deep green. Guess it's a darker green. 1 drop. White pastel. Almost a teal color. Again, another drop in here might kick it up a notch. It might make the color a little better. But honestly, I'm just going with the basics here. The absolute minimum. And we'll see what that gets us for each color. So yellow. I wonder if this is going to show up at all. I keep forgetting to shake these. You need to shake them before you use them. 1 drop. Real curious to see how these colors turn out. Because honestly, I've been using acrylic paint for quite some time now to color my eco resin. Just because the eco resin pigments I had, first of all, I only had a couple colors. And secondly, they're just not great. It's really thin. You got to really squeeze the bottle to get them out of there. And I don't like it. So we're going to go yellow here. And I might clean some of this little spillage up. Very Eastery looking colors here. Very pastel colors. I normally don't like pastels, but these colors look kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. Now again, if I wanted to make these darker, I got kind of 2 options. A, I can add more of the color, or B, I can add a drop of black. Now in these small of quantities, you don't want to do the drop of black, because as you can see, 1 drop is going quite a long way. I mean, for each of these little cups, because it's such a small quantity. So you put 1 drop of a color and 1 drop of black in there, you're bound to get a really gross gray version of your color. because the black will overpower everything. So for larger quantities, the black would work like that, but not such small quantities as these. So you would have to add a second drop of your color. Now, even in doing that, again, I'm very certain these pigments are all acrylic paint based. So you don't want to add too much. Because you add too much, especially if you add too much just regular acrylic paint, the acrylic paint soaks up a lot of the moisture, a lot of the water in your wet mix there, and it will flash cure. If you got enough in there, it'll flash cure your eco resin. Now you can use that to your advantage in some situations, because it gets really thick and really chunky, and you can kind of like manipulate it around almost like clay. Not quite like clay, but almost like clay. And you can make textured stuff with that. But if you're just doing your average, everyday kind of eco resin pour, I don't know if one drop's going to be enough for this black. I don't know. Yeah, if you're just doing a regular everyday eco resin pour, you don't got to worry about that. So one drop of black here gave me a charcoaly color. Again, I could put another drop in there, but I want to keep it consistent. Another drop would almost surely darken that up nicely to a reasonable black. You're not going to get a shiny jet black out of these colors, or a really saturated color out of any of these colors, just because the eco resin powder is so white. It's just not going to happen. There's purple. Very nice. It's a nice purple. So far these colors look nice. Now they aren't looking, and they're not going to come out the exact same shade as what's in the bottle. It's just not going to happen. I couldn't put enough pigment in there to do that. Even if I compensated with extra water, there's just no way. But they are looking good. The colors are looking kind of nice. Again, I keep forgetting to shake these good. These pigments do have a much better consistency, though, I will say, than the ones that came with my T-Expert Eco Resin kit. Those were really thick, and man, you really had to squeeze those bottles a lot of the time to get that pigment out. This orange looks perfect, too. This is a great orange, which is good because I'll be needing some of that as Halloween's coming up. And I've got quite a few nice little Halloween projects lined up for us to do. So hopefully, I'm probably actually even going to start posting Halloween stuff as early as mid-September. Love it or hate it, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Got a lot of really cool Halloween projects kind of planned out, and I'm really anxious to get started on it. Halloween's my favorite holiday, so kind of makes sense that I'd be excited about it. So last one, this is just, I guess, regular old green, so this should be lighter shade than our other green there. Mix it on up real good. And you'll probably notice I keep looking to see which hexagon I want to pour this in. That's because this mold here is kind of crappy. because half the walls on these little hexagons are kind of bent and malformed due to the way it was packaged. It was kind of folded up in the package. I hate when people sell their molds like that. Don't sell your mold all folded up in a plastic bag, because it's all warped and ruined now. Anyway, I'm gonna let all this sit for I'm gonna leave it for an hour just to get a good full cure in. Even though what I'm using here is I'm using the Yob Top 30-minute demold eco resin for this. So it'd be good after 30 minutes, but I want to give it an extra 30 just to see. So we'll be back on the video when these are all cured up. Okay, they're cured up. Let's demold them and see how everything came out. They look pretty good from what I can see. Kind of hard to get these out of here. Now, it's only been about 35 minutes. I did get impatient. I know I said I was going to wait an hour. So these aren't absolutely, completely cured. So they're still kind of warm. But we can get a good idea here as to what we got going on. And I think it's pretty good. Oh, there's my black. Still in the mold. Yeah. I think it's pretty good. These are the bottom sides of the mold here. They're kind of speckled, which tends to happen sometimes. But the tops, I mean, they're not bad. The colors aren't bad. Again, lighter than what's in the bottle, but you're going to get that. So, really glad these turned out so good, because I've been needing a better way to do my pigments for my eco resin. Because I mean, using acrylic paint works, but you got to be real careful not to add too much, and you got to add water to compensate. It's a very delicate balance, and if you get in a situation where it gets away from you and it flash cures because you use too much acrylic paint, then not only has it cured quick, you might say, oh well, awesome, it cured super quick. Well, that makes it a lot weaker when it does that too. So you want it to cure for its normal amount of time. You don't want to add so much pigment that it's going to speed up the curing process, because when it does that, you get a much weaker product. So again, pretty pleased with these. 1 drop each. Each one of these is about 10 grams of eco resin. That's one drop per 10 grams. And this is basically the shades you get. Not bad. Honestly, this was actually the only eco resin pigment, you know, specifically for eco resin that I could find on Amazon at the time. I've had some people suggest Temu. I've still never got around to even shopping on Temu. I don't know why. I like Amazon. So yeah, this was like $12 or $13. Pretty good deal. I mean, you've got all the basic colors that you're gonna want for most situations. On a side note, I really am happy with the way the black turned out, because yeah, it is kind of gray and charcoal colored, but honestly, I didn't expect it to do much more than be just a really light, almost concrete kind of gray. But no, it turned out good, and another drop it would have been probably absolutely perfect. really all of these. One more drop would have made them that much better. But again, I wanted to see what the minimum was. You know, 1 drop for each 10 gram chunk. Well, anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, try these out if you use eco resin. They're pretty good. They're pretty decent. There's bound to be better ones out there. If you've tried these and some other ones and you've found better ones than these, let me know in the comments, and so I can try those out. But anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.